We are right now following breaking news as conservative commentator and Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk is being rushed to the hospital in reportedly unknown condition, according to his spokesperson, after he was shot at an event for Turning Point USA at a university in Utah. Now, there is lots of reporting coming out right now. By the time that I make this video and have it published, that reporting might have changed. So I want to give you the latest update that we have, but I have some thoughts on all that has gone down today. This is a tragic shooting, as is any political violence in America. But I wanted to get into our latest update right here. Breaking: Charlie Kirk shot in Utah. Charlie Kirk, the influential right-wing activist and founder of Turning Point USA, was reportedly shot at an event at Utah Valley University on Wednesday. Bystanders report seeing Charlie Kirk shot near his neck during a Q&A with students, reported Desert News. A number of social media users present at the event posted photos, video footage, and accounts of the shootings. Now, of course, I want to give you all the most accurate and current update that I possibly can, but I am not going to show the footage of this shooting. It is incredibly triggering, it is upsetting, and it is footage that we see every single day in America. It has gotten to the point that we are so numb to mass shootings and political violence that for a shooting to become newsworthy, not only do more than 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people have to lose their lives at once, it has to be in the same place, because we lose countless lives in America every single day to gun violence. It is the #1 cause of death for children. Yet, we still have so many on the right who refuse to bend on this issue, whether it be because of money from the NRA or a lack of care for their fellow countrymen. Now, I do not want to make this a political video, but it's not about politics when people lose their lives. What happened today is a tragedy, no matter what you think of Charlie Kirk. He is a person, he has a family, he has a wife and children. But so do so many other Americans who have had their lives lost to gun violence. This is not the reality that we have to live with in America to defend the Second Amendment, as so many on the right will tell you. We do not have to live this way. But this is the way that we live. And I think it's also important to say that this is not just an act of gun violence, this is an act of political violence, which has also become way too common in America. The way that we see so many villainize their enemies as less than human, push conspiracy theories that have people losing their lives. It wasn't too long ago that the right was pushing conspiracies about a pedophile ring in the basement of a pizza parlor that Hillary and Bill Clinton were running that cost Americans their lives. And now where are those same people when Donald Trump, after news cycle after news cycle, is being proved to not just have been friends or best friends, but a joyful accomplice to the most notorious pedophile in recent American history? So this political violence is disgusting, but it has also come very clearly from the right. We have seen this explode over the past decade as an assassination attempt, an attack on Paul Pelosi is constantly mocked by the President of the United States and his son, Don Jr., making jokes about it constantly. The right does not recognize what they do when it comes to political violence. Now, I want to repeat again, because this might get clipped, this might get shared, I might get attacked for saying this. I am not making a political video saying anything about what has happened today to Charlie Kirk and trying to spin it in some positive way. That would be disgusting. I disagree with everything that Charlie Kirk says, but I don't think Charlie Kirk should be shot and killed. I don't think there should be political assassinations of political commentators, no matter the damage I think that they do to our country with their rhetoric. But it is clear that it is that rhetoric which has kept us from seeing meaningful reform to gun laws in order to keep people like Charlie Kirk today safe. Right now, we are seeing Donald Trump with his faux outrage, his faux care about crime, flood the streets in LA, in DC, with the National Guard telling you it's because of crime. It is to keep people safe. If it was to keep people safe, the man who rightfully calls himself the most powerful president in history, who declares himself a dictator on day one, if he wanted to, he could get his Republicans who fall in line with him, protecting pedophiles, he could get them to pass some meaningful gun reform. He could keep people in America safe. Donald Trump chooses not to do that because he is weak and he is pathetic. But we have to talk about and be okay saying that after these tragedies happen, it is not playing politics to address the root cause, the reasons why they do. The crisis in our politics right now that causes political violence. After the assassination attempts, Donald Trump, liberals, Democrats, progressives immediately jumped to, of course, condemn the actions, to call for stricter gun reforms to make sure things like this could never happen. I also don't think it should be lost on anyone. Again, I don't need to defend every statement that I make, but I surely will. That reportedly, according to Laura Loomer, when Charlie Kirk was shot, tragically, mind you, it is a tragedy, he was talking about trans shooters, was fear-mongering against a small minority in this country. Recently, you have seen those on the right say that we need to strip away the right of trans Americans to own guns. Not because they care about gun safety, not because they care about children being killed in their schools, parents who drop their sons and daughters off to pre-K, elementary school, middle school, high school. They're on college campuses not knowing if they will see them for pickup, if they will come home. That's not what they care about. They want to fearmonger against trans people. When you have a coalition of conservative voices paid by billionaires to distract you from a real class struggle, from a real struggle against gun violence, they're going to talk a lot about trans people. They're going to say that that is your problem. But that is not the reason why you can't afford rent. Trans people aren't the reason that our healthcare system isn't a healthcare system. It's a broken, sick care system that wants to exploit every dollar that you have while in the richest country in the world. We have people going bankrupt from medical debt. And I know I'm rearing from the point here, but it is these issues that keep us distracted. So I will reiterate again and again and again, because it is the truth. And don't mind me as I check my phone to try to see if I can get the latest update on what is happening right now, because we still do not know what has happened. The update that we currently still have is that Charlie Kirk, hopefully, I am making this video right now, but it is alive after it is posted because this is a devastating tragedy. But that is not to stop us from talking about the reasons why this happens. Not just gun violence, but political violence. All political violence should be condemned. That's not a question. It's certainly not a question for those who did not mock Paul Pelosi, who did not make a joke out of him being attacked, who did not post Truth Social memes of Joe Biden hogtied in the back of a truck. Now, some people may say that I politicized this issue, I have done a disservice to this coverage, and if that's how you feel, I understand. But I hope you too can understand that I am upset with a political climate that so seeks to dehumanize anyone critical of your position that this is where we end up. That this is where we end up. That for J.D. Vance to say, after kids were gunned down in their church praying, that anyone who asks for more thoughts and prayers is what? Not actually caring? For the vice president to say that you're disgusting, to politicize a moment in which we are empathizing with families who don't know how to move on and want to, as they do, make sure this is never something that another mom or dad ever has to deal with again. I'm tired of that. I think we're all tired of that. I think we're all tired of this place in our politics. I think we've all had enough. I think we have. And that's why, for someone like J.D. Vance or someone like Charlie Kirk to have said that this is a political reality to keep the Second Amendment protected, that it's an unfortunate fact of life in America that we're going to have mass shootings, I just say no to that. I find that ridiculous. This is not the way that we should have to live, and we should not have to be numb to this. We should not have to be numb to lies. It shouldn't take one of the most famous political figures in our country being shot for anyone, whatever side of the political aisle that you are on, to care about this. Every life lost is a tragedy. Every life lost. And we can not care just about those in our party, just about those in our country. It is not enough to say our heart breaks for kids who have lost their lives in school shootings in America, to not have our hearts break for those children slaughtered in Gaza. This is not an issue that we get to pick when and where we care about. This is not a political issue. This is not a political video. And I know this is kind of gone everywhere, but I hope I can just kind of speak to y'all. This is a shocking moment. So my heart is with Charlie Kirk's family right now. I am hoping that when this video is published, it is not old news because we get a devastating development again. I detest his politics. That does not change his humanity, but that is how I wish we all felt. Had some humanity. We're willing to strike political compromise, and it's not compromise. It's how the majority, 80% of us feel in America. It is a protected interest of a few wealthy individuals who want to continue to profit en masse off of the sale of these weapons, off the sale of these munitions, at the cost of children in our country, everyone in our country. Families ripped apart, destroyed forever. This should not have been the wake-up call for so many. It should have happened so long ago, but let's hope it is. And hope it doesn't take the loss of this life for it to be the wake-up call. Now again, I recorded this video as soon as the news broke. I hope this news does not develop into more fatal news. Thinking about Charlie Kirk and his family right now, I will say once more, it is not political to want people to stop being murdered en masse by guns in this country. That is a patriotic feeling. And I appreciate you listening to my tirade. I'm going to keep you all updated as much as I possibly can on this breaking news. Hopefully I do not have to make a video about this with worse news. Hopefully a miracle can be done by the best medical professionals possible, and Charlie Kirk does not lose his life. But I will keep you updated as much as I can.